Yo, so today we're talking about monopoly, and the monopoly, okay, wait, sorry. And the monopoly that I have chosen for my project, for my video, is, what did I choose? Hong Kong MTR. So the Hong Kong MTR is a natural monopoly. They provide a unique product, the MTR railway system that's underground, so it should be called a subway system. And the reason they're a natural monopoly is that it makes sense to have only one company running a subway system. I don't understand why you would have two companies running a subway system each inside Hong Kong, especially if there's already one that's working really well, it's really good. It's a really good system. And then you just bring in another one for no reason. Like, why? Exactly. That's why it's a natural monopoly. It doesn't make sense to have another company doing the subway. So in that sense, the ease of entry is none. It's impossible to enter the market. Ouch. There are very high barriers to entry. It's not just because why would there be another subway system in Hong Kong? It's also because it's really expensive to get the stuff to buy another subway system, to pay for all the stuff to get another subway system in Hong Kong. Just don't do it in the first place. Like, why would a company do that? Let's talk about pricing, and let's look at this graph. So basically, because a monopoly has a total monopoly, right? That's why it's called a monopoly. They are complete price makers. They have total control over the price. So they don't have to produce at the market price. The market price could be like $15, and the monopoly could produce at like $35 or $3,500. It's totally up to them, although it's not totally up to them, because if you look at this graph, we're assuming that this firm wants to maximize its profits, right? The Hong Kong MTR company wants more money. Everybody wants that, right? The profit maximizing point, as always, is where marginal cost equals marginal revenue. That point is a very specific point. It's not always where price is the highest. In fact, usually it's not where price is the highest. In this situation, you can see that if we take the marginal cost, marginal revenue equal point, and we trace it up to the demand curve where it equals price, and then we trace it down to the average total cost curve, multiply that by the quantity, then we'll figure out the total profit that is being made. That is the maximum profit that the firm can make. But also, in a monopoly, that's just a very simplified version of it. There are lots of things you can do to make more money and capture more of that consumer surplus if you are a monopoly. For example, price discrimination. This is the most used technique to capture the most consumer surplus from buyers. They charge different prices to different kinds of buyers for the same product. For example, the Hong Kong MTR does this with buyers on three main characteristics. The first is the distance that the MTR traveler is traveling. If you are traveling a very long distance, you will naturally pay probably 25 to 30 Hong Kong dollars. If you are traveling a very short distance, you will probably pay somewhere between 5 and 10 Hong Kong dollars. This way, consumers are still incentivized to travel long and short distances, knowing that they will pay an approximately proportional amount of money to their distance, and they won't have to pay the same amount every time. So we know that a person traveling from one side of Hong Kong to the other side of Hong Kong doesn't have to pay the same as somebody traveling from Central to North Point. Another way that this monopoly engages in price discrimination is through age. Younger people, like students, are charged less. Elderly people, senior citizens, are charged less as well. That's because they make less money naturally. Adults are charged a specific amount, and children, very young children, can go free. Through these price discrimination methods, the MTR company captures as much consumer surplus as possible, and in doing so, they are able to maximize their profits in more ways than just finding the profit maximizing point and producing at that amount. As stated earlier, there's obviously no competition, but also this is not an efficient market. The demand curve is separate from the marginal revenue curve, which is separate from the MC curve. Right? If we look back at the graph, the allocatively efficient point on the graph for this market, for this firm, would be where MC equals P, or where MC equals price, where the MC curve intersects the demand curve. However, that's not what is happening here. The quantity that the firm is producing at is where the marginal cost curve equals to the marginal revenue curve, and then you trace up to find the price that they're producing at. It's not where MC equals P. So there is not enough stuff being made at the right price for all consumers to be satisfied. So really, the only people happy in this scenario are the producers. The consumers, they're just like, you're too expensive. However, it is very, very profitable to the MTR company monopoly. In fact, in 2015, they made upwards of $13 billion in profit. That's a lot of money. Yes, so thank you for watching. If you want to see the other videos of my microeconomics project, this is a playlist, so you can just click through to see my videos on perfect competition, oligopoly, and monopolistic competition, each one with a different firm, naturally. Thank you for watching. This is Udi School. Bye!